Back to book reviews. Are you more interesting than This Weight of Injustice by J.F Posthumus? So that's going to be a really hard call. Some basic housekeeping. This is book 2 in a series. I do recommend book 1. I have a post about that earlier. It's very good. You will be missing out on some world building, but if you really were diehard, you had to start here, you could start. This is a homicide series. So she's a homicide detective. She does catch a case, so you know what that means. We got some mystery. We got some adventure. We got some crime. If you read book 1, you know that there's just a sprinkling of mafia. Some trigger warnings. They do have this is a bit of a spoiler, but a potential serial unaliver thing going on. And she does deal with speciesism. And I'm saying that because it's talking about the human species and another species, and there is conflict. The setting is, once again, if you haven't read book 1, it is an alien planet where the main character is half human, half native to that planet. She grew up on the planet. She and her romantic love interest, this is a bit of a spoiler. I did say it was book 2, so if you haven't read book 1, she has a romantic love interest. I said there was a romance subplot. Is also as well, and they are out. And if you read the back of the book, you know that their relationship has become exposed to the public, and he's a person of public interest. And there are people who don't like the idea of somebody who is only half their species marrying somebody else who's only half their species. So there's that. I think that this book was incredibly well balanced with dramatic moments followed and intermixed with personal ones. I think if you are a crime novel person, you're going to get plenty of crime paced throughout the story. And if you're not a crime novel person, then you are going to get plenty of romance and interpersonal growth and plot going throughout the story. Jenny did a fabulous job of balancing the two, so you don't go so far without going, can I get back to my romance plot? Or can I get back to the mystery? And she adds comedy. Granted, it's the comedy of, well, yeah, okay, everybody else kind of knew that you liked each other. I'm glad you guys got with the program. She does a great balance of cultural and family traditions moving forward. And, things like, well, in this culture, we do this for a wedding. And in your mom's culture, her mom's human, they did this for a wedding. So if you're wedding planning, this might be a really fun kind of relaxing read. I truly loved it. I was talking with Jenny and I was like, and she goes, what's your favorite part? I'm like, that's not fair. No, not fair, because I don't know if it's when the grandparents get involved or when the sparring occurs, because, they do sparring. It is a culture where duels are a thing, so everybody kind of spars. And, there's also new couples trying to figure out how they're going to deal with interpersonal conflicts with each other, especially when they are both fairly assertive individuals. On a more serious note, this story is a great example of what I think science fiction and fantasy do best in this world and why they're so needed. This is a fun story. It is not a literature hitting deep story, but because of how Jenny deals with the aspects of people disliking people for nothing other than their birth, and pulling it out of modern day, our personal conflicts here, and putting it in terms of an alien species. It's a little less, it doesn't hit quite so personal. It's not reminding you too forcefully of, hey, I dealt with that. There's a layer kind of that, I almost call it a pain-killing layer in between. And I think she deals with that beautifully here, especially when we are dealing with so many conflicts in our real world about liking people or disliking people because of the nature of their birth. I also absolutely love the fact that in her universe, she talks about it. There is a incredibly powerful scene that takes place in the precinct that I think everybody should read. And the spoiler here, it is a bit of a spoiler, another police officer goes off venting, saying some really unkind things. And he thinks everybody's in agreement with him. And he turns around and somebody goes, dude, catch it. We don't like you. We don't like what you're saying. We liked you before maybe, but not now. Nobody agrees with you. And he gets referred to mental health because that kind of thing in their culture is a mental health problem. And they have a culture that says if you're in the military or if you're in the police, you have to be evaluated for those kind of things because it's not fair when you're in a position of trust to have those kind of dislikes against somebody based solely on the nature of their genetics. I thought it was an incredibly powerful scene. And so as fun as this book is, I would definitely say this is a great example of how science fiction can show us a world and show us our own issues in our world, but in a way that is approachable and easier to talk about. In short, go pick up this book. It's absolutely great. It just released yesterday, so happy book birthday. I was supposed to release it yesterday, but we all know what I was doing yesterday. Dragon Con stuff. So if you read book 1, let me know. And if you're going to go pick up book 2, let me know because I really do think you're missing out if you're missing out on this series. Let me add really quick. It's going to be hard to be more interesting than this book. In case you couldn't tell, I absolutely loved it. This is, I don't often go 10 out of 10, but it's definitely 10 out of 10. And I think was a perfect read, especially when I needed a break. You can find this book at Barnes & Noble as a POD online. Or you can find it at Zon in either format, the digital or the whatever. Happy reading. Let me know if you picked it up because I think you're missing out if you don't.